Hey everybody, Casey Halstead here with 10th Planet Las Vegas. I got my good buddy Anthony Birchak from 10th Planet Tucson. We're gonna just go ahead and ask a couple of questions, do a little interview. Anthony, state your name.
Anthony Joseph Birchak. Someone calls me El Toro. That's what they call me when I fight. So
Awesome. Where are you from?
born and raised Tucson, Arizona. Grew up in a small town south of Tucson called Sahuarita. Wrestled at Sahuarita High School, and that later got me into several colleges for wrestling scholarships.
Okay. So it's fair to say that your background is wrestling.
Yeah. So I've been wrestling since I was 5 years old. Came up through the Sahuarita school system. Ended up wrestling at Pima Community College. A lot of guys like Efren Escudero, Jamie Varner, Drew Fickett, James Terry. There was tons of guys. I think out of like 13 dudes, 10 of them ended up going to either the WEC or UFC Strike Force. So Pima produced a lot of top level fighters.
Okay. How did you get your start in MMA?
Going back to that previous question, meeting guys like Drew Fickett and stuff like that, Efren. I did all of Efren's video editing for his video resume for the Ultimate Fighter show. And during the course of me filming him and seeing what he went through with BJJ and boxing, kickboxing, I kind of just saw that as the next evolution to what I was doing. I said it couldn't be that hard, you know what I mean? Like, I was a competitive wrestler, very athletic. Usually I could pick up a sport and run with it pretty proficiently. So when I kind of saw the blending of everything together, Drew Fickett actually took me under his wing and got me started in jiu-jitsu. And I made my MMA debut July 4th, 2009. So I'm going on like 8 years now doing this sport.
Did you have any amateur fights or did you go straight pro?
No, I had like 1 or 2 amateur fights, and then someone told me to learn while I earn.
Yeah.
And I've been doing that ever since.
So they were like smoker fights. It was like not organized back then.
No, it was organized. The debut that I had was in it was behind a movie theater in Nogales, Arizona. And if you guys don't know what Nogales is, it's like, look at a map. It's this close to Mexico. So there's Nogales, Arizona, Nogales, Mexico, and I was literally from the cage that I was fighting in. I could look and see the border just stone's throw away. So it was crazy. They had a mariachi playing and like. It was nuts, man.
Awesome, man. Where do you train right now?
Right now, 10th Planet Tucson, at home, and then when I'm on the road, I'm here with you at 10th Planet Las Vegas, 10th Planet Costa Mesa. Another spot in Las Vegas is Extreme Couture under Coach Robert Fallis, Dennis Davis, Eric Nixick. That's where I get the cage look and everything, and I got tons of great training partners. Travis Kalanick has come up recently to help. He's Misha Tate's coach. He's cornered her, Brian Caraway. A lot of great fighters from Extreme Couture. So to have him helping me lately and really focusing on that 10-minute first round, it's been crucial to have someone like him with that experience. And then he's also been to Japan, so he knows kind of the ins and outs of what's going to be going on with the Japanese culture and the fight culture there.
Awesome. Yeah, man. We keep running into Dennis Davis and Eric Nixick all over the place, man. Actually, I just saw him on Saturday night. Fernando Padilla just fought Dan.
IG.
Yeah, super close fight. Really good experience for him. I love those guys, man. Like anybody that I train here in Vegas, I always try to encourage them to go over to Extreme Couture. They've always been super cool. Eric and I talked for a good hour. Just on Saturday night. He's a good dude.
Yeah, one of the biggest things is like I try to surround myself or at least be around people that are about the no politics thing. You know what I mean? That's like the biggest thing with me is like there's already so much drama and like bad energy, and this is a dangerous sport. So to limit like bad vibes between people is like really big. Especially like when you're trying to bring 2 teams together or what if I have a coach there, a coach somewhere else, and a coach here, and I'm like, okay, all 3 of you guys gotta fucking get along for a minute to coach me. So it's been crazy. There's so many intersecting lines. I think all 3 of you guys will be in Kansas City while I'm in.
I know. So, we talked about that. It's just a fight game, you know what I mean? I love you more than anybody in the world, man. It's just I'm previously committed, and there's
I know.
nothing I can do.
But and that's the thing is, like, I was talking to Dennis, and he was like, "Well, I'm going with Roy to Kansas City," and I talked to Follis, and Follis is going with somebody to Bellator, and then Nick's going with somebody else, and Tim Lane has gone to South Africa, so everybody literally got booked all at the same time. You're gonna be with Ashley in Kansas City, so it's just so many fights, and all of us on the same team got booked at the same time. It's just good
That's a
timing,
good thing,
good
though.
timing and bad timing.
Because you guys are all in camp
Oh,
together.
yeah.
The bad thing is that, well, it's not even bad. You're just going out there with Travis, and I'm pretty sure we'll know somebody else out there that can get.
No, and I think the thing is the biggest thing with me is being able to voice recognize, right? And the one of the things that people keep reminding me is like, hey, you're used to like a Mexican crowd or an American crowd or a Canadian crowd that's going to be cheering all the time. You're going to walk into Japan and there's going to be nobody saying anything. They're going to give you a golf clap and that's it. So whether I'm used to hearing a corner or not, I'm going to be able to at least hear the only guy speaking English in the place.
That's a good point too. You could actually bring Travis in here when you're rolling,
Yeah,
and just have him talking to you while you're rolling.
Yeah, and
not even necessarily coaching you, just talking to you.
Yep, and then my wife Mercedes is gonna be going, so she knows me the best. She knows when I'm starting to fade. She knows when I can hit the gas. She knows my style of striking, my style of jiu-jitsu, my style of wrestling, what I am not capable of. So having her and having Travis there in a place that's gonna be quiet, we'll be able to hear each other and vibe pretty good.
Cool, man. So what are your thoughts on Risen? We don't want to get negative, but tell me just about Risen and like what do you think about like going to Japan and taking your talent there?
Well, I think my style plays into the Japanese fans. You know what I mean? They don't care if you win or lose. They want to see a fight. They want to see a good performance. They're about that honor and warrior spirit. And I think I'm either leaving on my shield or I'm wiping the blood off my sword. So I think, like I said, my style plays perfectly into the Japanese culture of fighting, and I think they're going to appreciate the style of fight that I bring. But a lot of people's opinions of moving to different organizations. This is not a backward step for me. This is a lateral move into one of the cradles of MMA, Japan. That's where martial arts came from. So to be able to fight in a place like Yokohama Arena, where many greats, Dan Henderson, Shogun, Rampage, all these dudes started there in Pride, and really. That's where I think the majority of their fan base came from, and their visual was Pride. So I'm taking it back, man.
I think that's a great point. There's two reasons why I think you're gonna succeed in Japan. The first reason is the record thing and the Bushido spirit, and even though you have an amazing record, what are you, 15-3, 13-3?
13-3.
13-3, amazing record. You went straight at Thomas Almeida. You went straight at Joe Soto. You went straight, everybody you fought, you went straight at them. And even going back to some of your old fights against what's his name, Roy Jones's.
Oh yeah, Tito Jones.
Tito Jones.
Ryan Benoit.
Yeah, Ryan Benoit, who's killing it. He's an amazing fighter. I think that the Japanese public is gonna love you over there. And something that's really cool that I think that maybe you didn't even think of. I've never fought in a cage. I've only fought in a ring. Rings are good for jiu-jitsu, man. Like you can't get stuffed on a cage. You can move your hips out.
Yeah.
And with you like working your jiu-jitsu so much lately, I think that maybe that's going to help you out a lot.
Well, one of the things that I liked about fighting in the MFC was the ring aspect, and my wrestling is not only just just collegiate wrestling and shooting in on the legs, but the Greco clinch is big with me. Being able to pummel under, get underhooks, and not have to worry about jamming my fingers in a cage. I'll be able to reach right around those ropes and suck that lower body in, and you look for my inside trips, look for my throws. All that's going to be there. So
yeah, and if you get on someone's back and you're up against the ropes and you're down and you're trying to work like an RNC, sometimes like you just can't get the angle when you're stuffed up against the cage.
Yeah.
But when you're against those ropes, you can easily turn your ass out and start finishing.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I remember is like Ryan Benoit trying to get out from underneath the ropes. And I'm like, I wonder if he knows that I'm going to end up back in this position in the center of the ring. If he thinks he gets out, we're not standing back up on our feet, you know what I mean? I'm going to be in mount in the center of the ring.
Do you know if that's a Risen rule too?
I believe so. I believe that's all across the board. I
In a
think in a ring,
If you end up out,
they
just
bring you
drag
back
to the
in.
middle.
Yeah, for sure.
Dope. Man, I'm looking forward to it. This is gonna be. I wish I was going, man. I really do, but it's gonna be amazing. I will be watching for sure.
Well, you know, if you guys want to watch, it's gonna be like at 3 or 4 in the morning.